Hi, good evening. Guess who isn't here tonight? PJ. He had another emergency. Patrick, where are you? We need you. Anyways, good evening and welcome to May 16th, 2017, another episode of A.B.A.T.E TV brought to you by the number 1. The mission of A.B.A.T.E of Illinois is to preserve the universal right to a safe, unrestricted motorcycling environment and to propose and advocate actions that can be taken by elected and appointed officials to protect and conserve the natural resources of the state of Illinois and ensure through professional management that sustainable use, recreational opportunities, and enjoyment of these resources is available for this and future generations. To fulfill this mission, we will safeguard the rights of all motorcyclists, endorse safety programs and education programs, promote unity through involvement, advocate political awareness and activism, and promote motorcycling enjoyment. Any callers? Feel free to call in. The number's at the bottom. Oscar's here with me manning the phones. Hi, Oscar. And feel free to call in. May's Motorcycle Awareness Month. And as I speak right now, it's also Police Memorial Week in Washington, D.C. And many of our members are in law enforcement, retired or active. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now in D.C. and I've been following it. Friends of mine are tweeting and texting and sending all kinds of information about what's going on. But most importantly, it's the memorial for fallen members of law enforcement. And let's give a big shout out to our men and women in blue who protect us and keep us safe. Let's see, there's some stuff coming up. Tomorrow is our monthly meeting at the brewery, 3848 North Harlem. And we start at 7:30. Everybody is welcome, whether you ride, whether you don't ride. The important thing is the camaraderie, getting together, learning about issues that are going on. And it's always a nice time seeing old friends and making new ones. And we always have a pretty good time. Food's decent, company's warm, it's always a good time. So remember tomorrow, if today's the 16th, tomorrow's the 17th, okay, at 7:30 at the brewery. So put that on your calendar, ride in, come in a cage, come on 2 wheels, walk, roller skate, skateboard, whatever type of transportation you prefer, come on down, even public transportation. Come on down, join us at the meeting. Anyways, we've got some events coming up and a really fun one. This year we've moved Spring Fling to June 10th because hopefully it will be much nicer weather than we've had the last couple of years where we froze our off. And it should be a good time. June 10th. To zoom in on this a little bit. Yeah, so you can read it. No, I'm going the wrong way. This is the right way. No, it's not. Okay, Pat, we need you. I am not. I got it. So it's June 10th, 2017. Come party with us. The gates open at noon. Free food and beer while it lasts. And we're always looking for vendors. Got something to sell? Got something to trade? Got something to swap? Hey, come on down. We're going to have some great music. We always do. Great music, great food. Our activities director, our Andy. Andy, you can call in too like you did last week. Everybody's welcome. Call in. Call in. Come one, come all. If there's any events coming up, we have a lot of members from a lot of different organizations, a lot of different clubs, and there's always something going on all summer. And if you got this, the May newsletter from A.B.A.T.E, here, you can do an overhead, check it out. This is the newsletter, open it up. There's always something going on throughout the state of Illinois. Legislative issues are mentioned, real important. And that's another reason why we are politically active. We want to preserve our rights, your rights, and the rights of all people to be free of restrictions that are unfair. And it's really important. I cannot stress this enough. It's not about riding without a helmet. It's not about anything like that. It has to do with basic freedoms. And let's face it, they can easily take away our freedoms with one fell swoop. The same way a number of years ago when they tried to take away the rights of motorcyclists to ride on Lakeshore Drive, and A.B.A.T.E stood up and fought that and won. And unfortunately, this same issue is coming up again, and we have to remain vigilant. It's not just motorcyclists. Anybody who has any rights that they want to preserve, whether it's a smoker or a drinker or anybody engaged in lawful activities that our government is trying to restrict. You have to stand up, just like Pat said. We've talked about this. A.B.A.T.E fights for everyone's rights. You want to wear a helmet? Great. You don't want to wear a helmet? That's your choice. But government must respect individual rights. And this is something that we all must remember, because once a right's been taken away, you're not going to get it back. You have to keep fighting for your rights. And again, why? We support various politicians, we support legislation, we follow legislation, and we've got our legislative guys, Dan Harper, is down in Springfield, and we have people all of the time keeping an eye on issues that are important to all motorcyclists. And it's not just motorcyclists. When we were in Washington, D.C., there were several issues that came up. E15 gasoline. That doesn't just affect motorcyclists, that affects people who are riding in regular vehicles. Because E15 gasoline has more ethanol, it burns hotter, and it can destroy internal combustion engines. Okay, so fine, there's less garbage coming out of the back, but if you even accidentally put E15 gasoline into your motorcycle, it will void your warranty. It will burn engines up in small boats and in equipment that you have, the lawnmowers and things like that. So we're not saying don't produce it. We're not saying don't sell it. We're saying we need more research. Or what about the Black Box Privacy Protection Act? It hasn't happened yet, but we fully expect that it can. You buy a vehicle of any sort and it has a black box in it. And the black box contains all of the information that's going on in your car. Say you're involved in a crash. It will tell you, you're able to read from downloading it how fast you're going and things like that. A police officer can technically plug into it, download the information, and use it against you in a court of law. People don't realize this. We don't even think about issues like that because, oh, a beautiful, shiny new car, but all newer cars do have this black box. And we wanted to be treated like HIPAA. We're not saying you can't have the information, but why should your vehicle be able to testify against you in a court of law when you have the right to plead the Fifth Amendment, the right against self-incrimination? So these are very simple issues, but they're big. Because imagine you're involved in a crash, and the policeman comes and they do the thing, and they download the information and go, oh, you were speeding, oh, unsafe for conditions. Even without an attorney, without your rights having been read to you. Any comments, Oscar? No. You're just the silent type. But these are really, really important issues, and this is why we have people down in Springfield, in Washington, D.C., that follow legislation meticulously. Let the members know what's going on. Call your legislators, call your senators. These are people that we elected to represent us. And when they stop representing us, it's our duty and obligation to support candidates running against them. Career and politician should not be in the same sentence. We expect our elected legislators to do what we ask them to do. It's like tyranny. When we fear government, there is tyranny. When government fears us, there is liberty. And every single elected official, be it an alderman, a committeeman, a senator, state representative, all of the above, every single one of them was elected by us to represent us. And again, when they're not doing their job or they're trying to take away rights that are our rights in the Constitution or limit them without due process, we have to stand up in unison and just say, no, we're not going to take it anymore. Just like in Network, the movie, remember that? I'm fed up and I'm not going to take it anymore. It's exactly the attitude that we all have to keep. We cannot let things happen to us. We must make things happen to protect ourselves, no matter what the issue. When government encroaches on your personal rights, limits your personal rights, you have a duty and obligation to stand up and fight. And if you don't, well, guess what? They'll just take them away and not even think twice about it. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, even here in the city of Chicago. And I don't know if any of you follow Facebook, but there are a couple of different sites, city workers past and present, about a lot of issues that are going on locally, about legislation. And the ABATE site, our national site, and our local site, there's some great stuff posted about what's going on, not just about events, but legislation. We have a right to know what's going on. And all too frequently, there are certain legislators that decide, oh, big brother, I'm your big brother, I'm your big sister, I know better than you, and treat us like little children. We're not little children, we're adults. We are thinking adults, and we know what we can and can't do. It's like operating a motorcycle. A new rider does not have the same skill set as a more proficient rider. The same way driving a car. When I go into the schools and I talk with the children, you cannot drive a vehicle of any sort beyond its capability and your experience. And this is really important, that we keep this message going, the message of ABATE, the message of preserving the universal rights to a safe environment. If you want to ride your motorcycle on a dirt path, you know what kind of risks you're taking, and you're not going to do it if you don't have the skills to do it. Why should government impede your rights? As long as you're not infringing on the rights of others, government does not have the right to infringe upon or take away your rights. This is why we have a Constitution and a Bill of Rights. There's a Constitution of the State of Illinois, a United States Constitution, and a Bill of Rights. And apparently there are times, and as we can see it happening, that our elected officials forget about the Bill of Rights and about the Constitution. You got to stand up and say, I know my rights and you're not taking them away. This is what our guys, again, they do in Washington, they do in D.C., and around the country to protect and preserve your rights. And without our guys in ABATE, even though many motorcyclists are not members of ABATE, they all benefit from the hard work that guys like Pat and Dan and you, Oscar. Yes, you, Oscar, don't shake your head, no. It's a group effort. There are no stars. We're a constellation, whether it's protecting the rights of motorcyclists or all drivers. Everybody deserves to be on safe roads. Spend the money on fixing the roads. Stop spending the money on making legislation to take away the rights of people, when most of this legislation is only geared to raise fees and fines and punishment, and how much more can they expect from people? Illinois is experiencing tremendous outmigration. Cook County is in extremely dire financial straits. What are our legislators doing? Why aren't they paying attention to the housekeeping? The housekeeping should take priority over trying to legislate the rights of other people. And I hesitate to use the word morality because it has a connotation I really don't want to use, but government has limited rights. And it's limited by law. But if they keep changing the law and moving the goalposts, and people don't fight, then eventually, without even realizing it, your rights are gone. Your right to park your motorcycle or your vehicle on the lakefront, put up another parking meter. What is this about public safety? This has nothing to do with public safety. It has to do with levying fines. It has to do with making us pay more for the right to live in a city or in a county, and people are just going to move out and away. But we're standing and we're fighting. ABATE is not backing down. Pat Jones, Dan Harper, all of our board members, everybody is working hard to protect and preserve your rights because we don't want these rights taken away. You have rights. They're inalienable rights. Read the Constitution. Get to know your rights. Get to know what government can and can't do, but what tries to do to overstep its boundaries. And it's not a Republican or a Democrat or a Libertarian issue. It's a plain, simple issue of government. In my humble opinion, the government which rules least rules best. We like to believe that adults will make adult decisions for adults. And we don't have to treat them like children. If I fall and I hurt myself, oops, I'm responsible. I'm not going to go out and blame somebody else because I took a header. Maybe I tripped on a stair. But why should I blame somebody else? I'm an adult. I take personal responsibility for what I do. As all of us do. We don't need the government to treat us like little children and to tell us what we should and should not do. The government, in effect, is acting in loco parentis, in place of the parent. That's not what our government was meant to do. Our government is to provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, fix the street lights, keep the roads repaired, make sure everything is clean and neat and tidy. The police patrol our streets, keep our neighborhoods safe. You can't have law and order without law enforcement. And these are really important issues to remember. When we're dealing with our legislators, what is the reason behind this? Why are you doing what you're doing? Remember, a helmet is not an accident prevention device. Where do our rights and theirs begin, and vice versa? We have inalienable rights as guaranteed in the Constitution, and every one of you needs to stand up and fight for them. Do not let your rights be taken away from you. Do not go gently into that good night, because you will find one day that you have no rights because they've been taken away. And again, this is why we fight for your rights. Now remember, I'm not going to let you guys forget, we've got Spring Fling coming up, June 10th, Spring Fling. Well, make sure I got it in the right position. I have it in the wrong position before. June 10th, come on down, have a great time. Come to our meeting tomorrow night. Now, if anybody's got some events coming up, please don't hesitate to post them on our Facebook page. And we've got a lot of members. Again, they've got a lot of activities going on. It's summer. Well, it's May. It's Motorcycle Awareness Month, and I've been calling schools that I've been dealing with to remind them that even if we're not doing the classroom presentations, to please remind your driver's education classes in the schools that it's Motorcycle Awareness Month, and to keep an eye out for motorcycles. And it's not just motorcycles, because in this weather right now, it's a beautiful, warm day. You know that there's going to be a lot of automobile crashes because people are just enjoying the weather. It's important. You got to pay attention, not just to the laws, not just to what's going on around you, but to everything. You must be constantly vigilant. And I'm going to wish everybody a wonderful beginning of summer, happy and safe riding. I'll look forward to seeing you guys at the meeting tomorrow night and hope to see a bunch of people at Spring Fling. Invite everybody. Everybody is welcome, whether you're an A.B.A.T.E member or not. It's irrelevant. Come on down. Great music, great food, great camaraderie, biker games, lots of good times, and I'm sure June 10th, let's pray that we have sun. Now, every deity is represented out there. Come on, one of you's got probably an in with the man upstairs to make sure we've got great weather, because it did kind of rhymes with truck the last couple of years. So we'll look forward to seeing everybody, and please keep us apprised of various events. Come to the meeting and let us know what's going on. And thank you for watching. And no, oh no, we don't have a call coming. I thought we had a call coming in. Again, tomorrow night at the brewery, 7:30, 3848 North Harlem. Come in a cage, come on two wheels, come on the bus, but come on down and have a brew at the brewery. Have a bite to eat with us. So, anyways, there's not much really else to report, so I'm going to sign off. Wish everybody happy riding, and see you down the road.